Hello, hello. Week 4 of live chat. Let's get this going. Oh man, I can't believe we've done 4 weeks in a row. Eric, what's up? Early gang. Dude, yeah. Thanks for being here, man. 4 weeks in a row. Can't believe we pulled this off, guys. This is way more consistent than I've done in the past. I hope everybody's appreciating it. What's up, Eric? Have you ridden at the Bird this week or this past weekend? Also, you ride anywhere else besides the Bird? I can't remember if you got a Bird pass or an Icon pass. Ben Donaldson. Hey, just subscribe. Caught a flight from where? From Salt Lake with a buddy of yours. Sick. That's awesome, dude. Thanks, Ben. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for the subscription. I really appreciate that, buddy. Luke, what's up? Luke Eccleston, what's up? Thanks for doing it. Love them. Yeah, I'm enjoying it, guys. It's a little bit intimidating to get into, as you can imagine, if you've never done a live stream. But I'm enjoying it the more I do it. It's pretty fun. And it's a nice way to connect with you guys and get, a little bit of direct feedback, even though I can't see your faces. It's nice to chat with you guys. We should have a guest joining us on camera soon, but he's running a little bit late. So sit tight. You can probably guess who it's going to be. Eric says, got the vid, so I am stuck at home. Got a couple tours in, but I am homebound for a bit. The vid, you mean the COVID? I'm guessing you don't mean videos. Dang, man, I'm sorry to hear that. I guess it's still a thing, huh? Still goes around. It's like the flu now, I guess, right? They say it's going to be with us forever. But hopefully it's not too bad. Sorry to hear you got that. That's a bummer, man. Where have you been touring? I didn't know you had a split board. That's pretty sick. I hope you're taking it kind of mellow. Things have been sketchy, although with a long break between the last storm that we had here in Utah, the backcountry is probably settling a little bit. I heard Utah Abbey Center say, though, the new concern is going to be the top layer of snow right now is getting really faceted, and that's going to be the danger zone going forward with the next storm that rolls in. On top of that, that's going to be the new weak layer. But the weak layer that was persistent from early season, that's actually starting to heal. So I haven't done any touring, to be honest. I'd love to get out there, but yeah, if you're touring, let me know where you're splitting. Ben Donaldson, he said to subscribe. We were talking about GoPros, said he was going to start helping out with the footy. Oh, sick. Nice. I'm wondering who this was. Was his name Evan or was it Alex? Alex flew back from Florida recently, but he's been helping me out with footy for a while. But there's a dude I know, a friend of mine named Evan, who reached out to me recently, and he said he really wants to help filming with like a mirrorless camera, I think. So that'd be sick if we can get him involved in the videos. But yeah, I'm curious to know if you remember his name. Very cool, though. Glad you subscribed. Appreciate it, man. Noah Fetez, what's up? Local from Utah here. Love the content you put out. Thanks, man. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate the comment. That's sick. And Eric says, did a couple laps at Park City, Mill D North. I will pretend I know where that is. I haven't extensively toured the Park City side too much. But I'll say, man, every time I'm driving over to Park City, I see a lot of zones over there that just look really incredible to hit. And I have a feeling the Abbey Danger isn't as high over there. So that's pretty cool. Maybe I need to get a tour going with you, Eric. You can show me where Mill D North is, unless it's a secret. Oh, I think somebody's sneaking in. Somebody's sneaking into the chat. Dad life.
Dad life.
What's up? Say hi to Austin, guys.
Hello.
He's back. Let me squeeze in a little.
Had to
Make
put the
some more
little
room
to
for
bed.
you. Yeah, know how that is. Austin's got a 4-year-old, and I've got a 1-year-old.
My 4-year-old thinks that bedtime's at 10 these days.
Oh, 10, huh?
No, not that bad. But like, if she could.
Dang, Arthur keeps getting pushed back just like by 5 minutes. It seems like every couple of weeks. Like
That's how it goes. That's how it goes. And then like in
Yeah.
2 months, he'll all of a sudden start going to bed like an hour early, and you'll be like, "This is amazing."
Well, early would be nice, but yeah, he was like going down at 7 o'clock every night, so it was pretty awesome to have 7 p.m. until 7 a.m. guaranteed.
Yeah, that's glorious.
But now now it's getting like closer to 8 o'clock that he's going down, which is still fine.
Sure.
But I think it's also more our fault than his fault. We just keep like
you're getting off that schedule.
Getting off his schedule. But yeah, you haven't missed too much. We were just chatting a little bit about the snowpack. I was talking about the snowpack. Eric said he had been touring. Eric Van der Erms, he's awesome. I've met him. Fan of the channel. He's got VO gloves and
nice.
Yeah, he's a rad dude. But he said he got COVID, unfortunately, so that's a bummer.
That's a bummer. That's still a thing.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. I think it's here to stay. Unfortunately, it's just like the flu now, though. But he said he did a tour over Park City, Mill D North. And,
cool.
You know where that is?
Yeah.
Cool. I don't.
It's an awesome little area.
Sweet. Have you toured over there?
I have not been up there personally myself, but I have. It's been recommended to me by a number of people.
Nice.
And I've seen some, like, one guy was sharing me his routes and a couple of his lines, and like a lot of Mill D, there's like some pretty low angle stuff towards the entry, like, so it's and you get to there like going to Parley's, I believe. So yeah,
sweet. Yeah, I was talking about how every time I've driven up that canyon, like on the way to Park City, I'm like, that looks awesome over there. That looks awesome over there. And the Utah Abbey Center posted a few days ago. It looks like the persistent weak layer that we had from early season is actually healing finally. But now we've got a new layer on the very top of surface horror that's super.
I don't know. Maybe that went away today. I was up at I was lapping Chickadee, and it was springtime. I took Roar out this morning, and and I thought it was going to be like hard packed, like ice, and it was spring potatoes.
Really?
Yeah. It was 45 degrees.
Really? Wow. I'm going to Brighton tomorrow with my brother.
It's going to be crusty.
So we'll see.
If you go early.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Even if it gets warm during the day and then it drops in temps overnight, like that cycle, doesn't that create the surface horror?
Dry temperatures, like very, very dry, frosty. Like, so if it's a, like, let's say a fresh snowfall, and then it's a clear night, the evaporation from the snowpack going up is what starts to crystal, like, do that surface horror, that crystalline.
Yeah, the faceting.
Yeah. And but I mean, so yes, in untouched snow, absolutely. But then like the packed run snow, that freeze thaw is going to create like
I mean more so for the backcountry.
But yeah, the backcountry no good still.
Yeah.
You know,
so any new snow that we get in, any new snow that we get in now is going to have a pretty.
And I figured with our warmer temperatures that we've been running into, it helped that persistent weak layer heal out faster, right? Because it's like the warmer air temperature you have is a better temperature gradient for 32 at the bed to, let's say, 45 degrees at the surface. It's like it's going to metamorphosize,
trickle down and compress from the heavy weight of the wet snow. Anyway, moving on. Ben Donaldson's a new subscriber. He said that he rode a flight with somebody who said that they should subscribe to Board Progression and that they were going to start filming with me. And I said, it sounds kind of like Alex, except Alex has been filming. He said he's from Louisville, Kentucky. That might be Evan. I think that might be Evan. I don't know if I told you, but I have a friend, Evan, who I filmed a Park City video with a long time ago.
Okay.
Maybe you guys have seen it. Like the first Park City video I ever did. I think it's called Park City is Massive.
Was Trace there that day?
No.
Okay.
No. It was just me and this guy, Evan. I got a pass. I think I paid for a day pass, and it was like 3-4 seasons ago, I want to say.
Okay.
But he's a really cool guy.
Back when day passes were $60.
No, dude, I got an industry what's the word, courtesy letter from the Bird, because I was working at Snowbird at the time, and they just wrote a letter for me. HR wrote a letter that I took to Park City, and basically it was just like, hey, this is our employee. He's in the industry. Any courtesy you can give him on a discounted pass would be appreciated. And it was still $125.
Damn.
And that was, I think, 2019.
Hashtag veil life.
Yeah. But anyway, all that to say, he's a cool dude. I don't talk to him that much. We went to like the same church at the time, but we don't anymore. But he reached out to me on Instagram a few weeks ago, and he said, hey, I want to help you film if you're down. And he's got like a nice mirrorless camera and a pretty good portfolio for photography and stuff. So
that sounds awesome.
The only catch is, he said, the only pass he has is the Solitude. He doesn't even have an icon. He's just got a base Solitude pass. But
honeycomb.
Yeah, or backcountry. He said like, he'd be down to film a kicker session or a backcountry day or something like that.
Cool.
But yeah, he's like,
everybody needs more of my backflips. Flail flips? I'm pointing flail flips. Flail flips.
I like it. Yeah, I think that needs to go in the new crab bag dictionary.
Yeah. Do a flail flip. Is it soft enough? I don't know.
Is it soft enough to land on your head? Yeah. That's hilarious. But anyway, yeah, I'm guessing it might have been him.
Cool.
I'll have to ask him. But yeah, Ben's a new subscriber, so
very cool.
Yeah, glad you found the channel, whoever it was. Thank you for recommending it. Luke says, love the video that came out. Man, I need to get to Utah. Snowbird looks so fun. Yeah, you're talking about the video I dropped Monday, I guess. If you guys saw, I rode with Kevin from Snowboard Pro Camp, and it was really fun. Super awesome, nice guy, by the way. I saw he was in Utah making some videos, and I saw that he followed me on Instagram, so I reached out to him. And I was like, dude, do you want to link up if you got time? And he was super down, and yeah, just really generous with his time and generous with shouting out the channel. So that was really cool. And we had a really amazing day. Thanks to Donovan. Donovan comped tickets for him and his filmer. And also Donovan gave us a tip that he heard Mineral was going to open that day. So that's a big reason why I went on that day. Clutch. Yeah, Donovan is the man.
He's the lift whisperer. He's like, what will open today?
He's also just like such a generous guy. Like I can't even number the times that he's hooked me up with something or hooked up somebody I know with something. I mean, the whole reason I've got the VO glove deal is because of Donovan. He made that introduction with Eric, the owner. So he's just awesome.
It goes way back. That's awesome.
But yeah, that was a great day at Mineral. I mean, I'm trying to think if I've got a better day in my memory of riding Mineral Basin. I can't really think of one. I was going to say it was like in my top 5 days in Mineral, but all day long it was untracked. There was nobody there, and the snow was great.
I don't have a day like that in Mineral yet.
Yeah.
I'm always wondering why people are wondering why it's open.
Yeah. I mean, it's become a running joke on social media.
Yeah.
Is Mineral Basin open, but that was a fantastic day.
It's got great terrain back there.
Oh, it has fantastic terrain.
It's just that it's always
it's
just a minefield when it comes to like.
Well, there's a couple of things at play, right? I mean, if you guys don't know, Mineral Basin is the backside of Snowbird. First of all, when it's clear weather, it gets cooked with sun all day long because it's all southeast facing. And then it's kind of a tourist trap for whatever reason. Like people who go there, people who visit the Bird.
In the sun.
Yeah, because people want to get to the sun. But also I think like if you are visiting the Bird for the first time and you're looking at the trail map and you see like, oh, there's a backside, like that just sounds cool. Yeah. Like, well, what's back there? Like that's probably like a hidden gem or
visibly open too, right? The moment that you look over the ridge and you're like, the front side of the Bird is pretty gnarly and like, zoned out. And then like Mineral though, you're like open.
And it's just one zone for the backside.
Yeah.
Rather than it like being split into Peruvian Gulch, the Cirque, and Gad Valley, and even Little Cloud on the front side. It's just Mineral Basin on the backside. And that's the only lift really, other than Baldy, which is an older, slower lift. And Baldy doesn't really gain you any better terrain or that much more terrain than Mineral. So yeah, on a busy day at the bottom of the chairlift, it gets super packed because it's really the only lift, and it's the only way back out of Mineral if you want to get out of Mineral Basin. And then on a storm day, there's hardly any trees back there, so there's zero visibility on a storm day, and you can get like really crazy vertigo. So all that to say, Mineral has a lot of cons for its pros, but when it's
you
good,
get it,
oh my gosh, dude, it was incredible.
I bet in like
the views too. The views are just insane.
2005, Mineral was just firing. Weekday, pow day.
Whenever it first opened for the first, like 5 years, I bet it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I wonder if the tunnel wasn't there and Peruvian actually went to the top, if that would make any difference. For just like, I don't know, an easier way to get to it.
Yeah.
But there's still only one way out, so
right.
Maybe not.
In a body bag.
In a body bag. Oh man, remember the helicopter crashes?
Oh gosh, yeah.
If you guys drop a comment, if you guys remember that was 2 seasons ago, I think.
2 Blackhawks.
The National Guard crashed 2 Blackhawks back there. Nobody was hurt, they said, fortunately. But anyway,
it was a routine military training exercise.
Okay, Tony Stark. But yeah. Anyway, we're getting a little bit off topic. Let's see. Ben Donaldson said, I guess this guy you're talking to on the plane said you all were going to hit AK later. I don't know how much later.
You didn't tell me.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mention.
This is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, definitely a goal, like a bucket list goal, but not this season. That's for sure. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I would love to hit AK, but I would also love to go to Japan. I'd love to go to Baldface, and I feel like those 2 things are probably going to happen before that. And even those are like, I don't know how I'm going to pull it off financially and like the time and everything. But I will say, like, as Arthur's getting a little bit older, I think things are going to get a little bit more stable, that maybe we can travel and that kind of thing. Celica, I think, is really open to us traveling somewhere as a family, and then, them kind of camping out while I ride and that kind of thing.
Cool.
But yeah, don't have AK in the plans that soon down the road. I'd love to, but not this year. Luke says, a little video. Oh yeah, we already read that guy. Eric says, I'm going to ride this praise for months. All right, man. I mean, I could take it back. No, I'm just kidding. You're a cool dude. All board, no breaks. The snow needs to start coming, so we'll have a good base built up by the time I'm able to visit in February. Yeah, I hope so, dude. Good to see you again. All board, no breaks. Yeah, we have had a slow start to the season. I think it's official. We can say now it's under an average year so far.
However, the snowfall is like because we've had 3 large storms. I mean, it's crazy to look that we have 138 inches of snowfall so for the year.
Yeah.
And that's really only 3 good-sized storms that delivered all of it. And now...
Yeah. Yep. So. For the little bit of snow we have, we're fortunate enough that, there's a decent amount out there.
I mean, the bird looks great today, right? Like, coverage-wise, like, there's definitely... I mean, Superior's melted now. And, like, a lot of...
And for the lack of storms that we've had, it's pretty amazing that almost every resort has opened, and that's kind of what I was going to get into with this video a little bit. I thought every resort was open, but there's one resort that hasn't yet. It's Cherry Peak. I don't think they've announced.
Nordic already opened too?
I'm pretty sure. They were scheduled to open like December 15th or December 20th. So I'm pretty sure they're open by now. If anybody knows in the comments, correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure they did. I mean, Pall Mall did, and Pall Mall's, over there in Eden too. They probably got a similar amount of snowfall. So I think they did. Pretty sure Eagle also opened. But Cherry Peak, I just checked today on social media, and they hadn't even announced like an opening day yet, it seems. So that's a little bit of a bummer up there for those guys.
Yeah.
But Beaver opened this past week. So that's cool. And they're very much dependent on natural snowfall. I don't think they make any of their snow.
Okay.
But yeah, almost everything is open. I think if we just get like one more storm that's like 2 feet, then hopefully it'll do a lot for Utah resorts and the snowpack in general. Yeah. Eric says, we were really so spoiled last year. Yep.
Yeah, the faucet never turned off. And hopefully it turns on for a good duration of time starting next week.
Yeah.
There's a little snow in the forecast. I can't see what's past that 10-day mark, but fingers crossed.
And there's a little bit forecast for this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Last I looked, I haven't actually looked today, but I looked yesterday, and it seems like they're saying maybe 4 to 10. But most of that's probably going to be the top of Little Cottonwood Canyon.
As long as it doesn't rain.
Yeah. I hope it doesn't rain.
I do love that about our high altitude here. It's like,
Usually.
rain events are still infrequent when they happen to the bird. I mean, from the Pacific Northwest, it's like you're always right on the cusp. It's raining at the base and nuking at the top, right? So,
jeez. Yeah, I feel like I can remember a handful of days where it's really wet, like sloppy snow at the base of the bird, or even Brighton, but it's still snow,
Yeah.
And then you leave and you drive down just like less than a minute or two, and it's raining.
I do love it.
Cool.
When we first moved out here, I was like, oh, you don't need Gore-Tex living out here. Like,
it's true.
It's so funny.
It's true. I've had Gore-Tex gear. I've had Gore-Tex pants, and the 32 kit I'm rocking right now isn't Gore-Tex. And
yeah, and our snow's so dry
fine.
that
yeah. So that's pretty cool. But Gore-Tex is awesome if you can rock it.
Breathes so good. That's where I would say it comes in handy. Is just how well it breathes.
Yeah. I like the stretch Gooch pants I used to have.
Those are sweet.
Yeah. I mean, I still have them technically, but they're so worn out. They're really nice.
But 150 days on a pair of pants is going to happen.
Yeah. Yep. Caught a rope drop in Mineral last year, and it was the most unreal day of my life, Eric says. Nice, dude. That's awesome.
You and like 3,000 other
people.
Yeah,
was it that video that went
Road
viral?
Rash?
Road Rash. Yes.
You got some chains out there. Good time.
That's awesome, dude. I thought that was maybe a little before your time. But
no, I loved Road Rash. That was a great game.
Drop a comment if you guys remember Road Rash, if that's from your era. I played it on Sega Genesis. I think we had it on Sega.
Did you also have Cruis'n USA?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Same engines.
That's true. It probably was. That makes a lot of sense. But yeah, was it that video I saw last year that Zom posted, or whoever it was, that had 1 million people dropping in the middle at the same time? Sounds like it wasn't. If
it was that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's good rope drops. It's like that's one thing that would be nice to be, up enough to be able to as we've talked about. The bird is so good days after a storm, and you can always the following day this opens, and then the next day this opens. Like the bird, honestly, if you can be there every day, has
if you can be there every day of the week,
openings.
Then you'll probably be just getting PAL over and over, and face shots. We were really hoping while we were there that Road to Provo was going to open that day.
Has it opened yet this season?
It opened the next day. Yeah, we were there Thursday for Mineral, and then it opened Friday. But Tom, he's a lifty, a buddy of mine. He told us at the bottom of Mineral, he was like, yeah, pretty good chance that Road to Provo is going to open today. So we were kind of just camping out, like hovering Mineral, because Mineral is so good anyway, waiting for that to happen, but it didn't happen, unfortunately. And we weren't there the next day, but that's okay. Dude, I was really thinking about throwing a backy if we got Road to Provo opening.
Oh, on
For
the
that
wave.
wind lip, yeah, on the wave.
Isn't that where you landed
But
your first one?
It is. So like I've got that
cool.
muscle memory kind of. I have a very clear
Mhm.
feeling of what that was like, and I was like, dude, if it just opens like rope drop, it's got to be good. Although it's early season, so I do wonder how much the
There's
backside.
rocks on the back of that.
I know.
Yeah.
So
You
maybe
know,
it's for the
so
best.
use that muscle memory and put it right to base. You know.
Yeah, but dude, Road to Provo, like rope drop, I've had probably my best days riding from Road to Provo rope drops. I even named a video the best day of snowboarding of my life, and it was a rope drop in Road to Provo.
Another area of terrain that I have not experienced, and like
when it's
I've
good,
experienced
like
it
deep.
good over there, but not like a rope drop. You know.
Yeah.
The times I've hit the wave, or like the run in is gonna shake your fillings loose. So.
Yeah, definitely. I will say though, it was hectic. It was like, yeah, it was like people were dropping $100 bills from a helicopter or something when the road drop happened, but it was pretty worth it. Yeah, Otter, I guess is how you say your name. That was an amazing vid. It looked amazing out. Awesome, thanks, man. Yeah, it was definitely memorable. I'll remember that one for a while. Gary 100 on mineral. Yep, definitely. Eric says, don't forget the main tourist trap, Peruvian tunnel.
Yeah.
Am I a tourist? I like the tunnel, kind of.
They should.
I don't know.
They should. You know, they get lost in the pictures and the canon. Love it. They should allow people to get off and look at the attractions.
I was gonna say one of these days I'm gonna actually stop on the conveyor belt and step off and like actually read like everything.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, oh, I caught like a new sentence this time, you know.
I still haven't read everything. Yeah. It's been 4 years. I still haven't got it all.
But it's true. I mean, when you think about it, it's like, why did they build that instead of just making the lift go to the top of the ridge? You know?
Yeah.
I've heard people say just, oh, Dick Bass really just wanted a tunnel because he thought it'd be cool. And
I like that. You know what?
Yeah. Yeah.
We need a tunnel.
It's
Show
true.
Elon Musk.
Yep. But yeah, maybe mineral would be even more packed back there if P-Dog went straight to the top. So it's interesting. Oh, we got Luis Villanueva in the chat. Do you know who Luis Villanueva is?
Is that Alex? Codename Alex?
maybe not. I don't know if he likes to be incognito. Sorry if I just blew you up, buddy. But we can go straight to the source and ask Alex, if you're in this chat. I'm not saying you are or aren't, but if you are, did you ride a plane with somebody? Someone named Ben, and did you tell them to subscribe and that we were going to AKs?
And did you get tickets for that? Because we need to know.
We need to know. Yeah. But anyway.
And if Alex is also in the chat, it looks like maybe today was sick, but it started snowing right as I left. And did it actually accumulate anything?
I didn't even know that it was supposed to do anything today.
It was bright and sunny when we got there around like noon, and we left at 3 from Chickadee, and like there was a little dusting.
Eric says to Curtis, tell no one.
Oh yeah, you can't be gas and spots.
Eric also says Japan's getting absolutely hammered with snow right now. Cool.
Oh wow,
I didn't know that. I'm glad somewhere in the world is.
Yeah,
because it seems like the continental U.S. is not.
I mean, La Nina or El Nino is just like warm and wet.
Dude, I just love how every summer too, everybody gets on the hype train like, oh, it's El Nino, it's gonna be epic. And there were like 3 or 4 people who told me, oh, I heard it's gonna be a worse, like heavier storm season than last year. And it's just like, you never know.
I've always heard that it's like, it doesn't matter if it's El Nino or La Nina, at least in, the Rockies, it's a mixed bag, right? It's like Wasatch and Rockies. You don't know how it's going to come. You know that it's going to be lots of moisture. I mean, Pacific Northwest has been super wet. Like, I mean, even like I saw there was major flooding over in New England right now.
Really?
Yeah. They've gotten some big rain events that have caused a lot of early snow melts. And like, yeah, so that's no good. And then there's some big flooding in Wyoming the other
Jeez.
day.
Dang. Yeah, but going back to kind of what you were just saying, statistically, if you look at like El Nino versus La Nina years for Utah, it's pretty much just like a 50-50 shot whether it's going to be a good year for the bird or not. For either one, there's really no
the best
set
way,
one that seems to be better.
The best way to tell if it's going to be a good year is to talk about it at the end of the year. Yeah. Was it a good year?
I told you guys.
You like Farmer's Almanac winter predictions. It's like either you're like, oh, they didn't get it right and it went the other way, or it's like it was so spot on. It's like like yes, I know that like there's atmospheric currents and like things that like set up. It's all a mixed bag.
Even a broken clock is right 2 times a day, right? Exactly. So they're bound to get it right every once in a while.
Exactly. Unless it's a broken clock that also has a AM PM that's constantly shifting, then it could be kind of right but very wrong. That's the day.
That's true. All right, where were we? Otter says,
Production is back. What up?
Yeah, what's up, LF? He dropped a comment on the last video too.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks, man. Otter says, all I want for Christmas is snow and a new board. I hear you there, brother. Yep. What part of the country are you in? Are you here, local, or are you somewhere else? But I think we all want snow. And I mean, let's face it, who doesn't want a new board?
Right.
This guy makes them for a living, and I bet he wants another one.
Boards. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I got a new rectangle sitting on the workbench right now.
See? There you go.
And I have another one to press. New boards.
Yep. By the way, guys, I don't know if I mentioned, but I'm loving the Rover. It's sick.
Thanks, man.
I don't think I got to talk about it enough in the video we dropped. I tried to throw that one out pretty quick, like the edit video.
It's a nice little edit. I like that one.
But yeah, I was telling Austin I was at Brighton yesterday without it, and I hopped on the Capita DOA, and I was like, "Ooh, this isn't riding as well as I remembered."
Ooh.
And yeah, I really wanted to be back on the Rover. So
I just
you gotta let me borrow that again.
I just had somebody reach out and one of your Patreon members.
Oh, sick.
And was like,
shout out Patreon members.
They've got a dark side, and they were like,
sweet.
They're like, I gotta say, I just sold my Mega Merc because the dark side's the only thing I ride, and I was like, oh damn,
dang.
So
sold a Mega Merc. Take that, Capita.
So Capita makes great boards, but
they do.
I like my boards.
They do. I love your boards. Yeah. And I'll say I love my Capita DOA. I mean,
great board.
I think it's really good, especially for like slushy spring days. That's when I had the most fun on it.
Oh, totally.
But that's pretty cool. Sold as Mega.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, that's good to hear, because that's a highly praised board. I haven't ridden it myself, but that's a very highly praised board. It's supposed to be very performance driven. So
yeah,
very cool to hear. Eric says it wasn't that specific day, but it definitely felt like that. Talking about the rope drop to Mineral and the crowds. Yeah, Lewis says, saw dude, today was sick. That's awesome. 2 inches never felt so good. I feel like I've heard him say that before.
Hey, every time. Which is good.
But yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I bet it was good. I wonder if there'll be any leftovers tomorrow. Luke says, what GoPros are you using? I have a Max, but was thinking of getting the Hero 12. Dude, I had the Max. I had the 12. I had the 11 Mini and the 11. And I actually just sold my Max to Sean Phillips.
Sean Bobby?
Sean Bobby.
Sean Bobby!
Yeah, he was talking about wanting to get a Max forever. He was asking me if I could get him a pro deal. But the pro deal still ended up being like $300 or something, because it's still like a $500 camera, even though it came out 3 years ago.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, I know. Because it's the only 360 camera
got some pretty stiff competition in the 360 camera realm.
They do. They're coming out with a new Max, they said. They finally confirmed it. The CEO of GoPro said officially, just like in a press release or something, that they are working on a new one. But there hasn't been any other rumors or anything about the specs on it. But yeah, I was gonna say,
and I'm all for, like, they developed a good camera, and yes, it's not as technically savvy as like some of the other action cameras that have come out with 360s, which everybody needs a juxtaposition to like create good competition. But like,
Yeah.
you know, and not that like a 5-year-old camera should just be, you know, even cheaper because it's still, you know, the same product to produce. And I was going to say, it's like, I'm glad to see that they allowed the product to mature and then hopefully come out with a large enough leap forward.
Yeah.
That's like, because I think GoPro struggled for a number of years where they had the drone, the gimbal, they had, you know, the white, silver, black, and then they had such a diluted product line. And then the session. And then, you know, they really distilled everything back down into the Hero platform. And the Max was out during all of that. So they've kept the Max. And I feel like that will hopefully allow them to, you know, produce a good leap on that product that then will hopefully push other 360 cameras, as well as like, you know, as you've talked about, it's like when it comes to editing, that like working within the GoPro family is a little less clunky than, you know, other stuff. Right. And like, and the familiarity of it, right. That ecosystem.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the quality, once they upgraded the sensor on the 11 and the 12 has the same sensor, to me, it just was like, you know, it took GoPros from here to here.
And I will say that in 2 videos ago, right, you could definitely tell. It was the first time I watched a video of yours that you could tell the difference of like, you know, I'm shooting on the Max right now and I'm shooting on the 12 because the 12's like contrast and color grading was just so much better. And the values you had to push on the Max were really starting to show its age
limitations. Yeah, I agree. And it was after that video. It was a video I shot at the Bird. I think it was the one with Alex. I forget what I titled that video. But yeah, I basically asked you guys and some of you guys commented. I said, what do you think about the Max footage versus the Hero 12? And I think everybody pretty much unanimously agreed, except for like one person, that the 12 just looked better. And it didn't really matter, even if you're doing selfie shots, that there's a pole in the shot. Like the quality just looks so much more engaging, so much more dynamic, so much more crisp. All the details, like in my clothing and stuff, just look better. So I was like, I think I'm done with the Max. Yeah, I know. So after that video, I was like, I don't think I have a need for the Max anymore. And honestly, I got the Max because of last year I was working with Ski Utah, and they really wanted a lot of that 360 footage. And GoPro was kind enough to hook me up with the camera. But I don't really have a desire to use it anymore. And it's a lot of work in post too. It's like a whole extra step of, you know, deciding where you want your shots, which is cool to have that flexibility. But for me, the time consumption wasn't really worth it for a product that, you know, just doesn't look quite as good in the end. So I'd say if you're thinking about the 12, I'd go for it. I love it. The 11 even is really good too, because like I said, it's the same sensor. There's just a few more options with the 12 as far as frame rates and field of view and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm loving it. But I will say, slight spoiler alert, I may be trying a different camera out in the future. So stay tuned for that. I love GoPro. I still think they're the top of the bunch right now. But just for comparison, I may be trying something else out just to see how it stacks up. So
who's left in that market? You have the Osmo, then Action 360,
Insta 360, DJI's action cameras. I guess it's the Osmos, and then
GoPro. And then I think Sony might still have.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably other brands out there, but they're probably not anywhere near as competitive.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's now pushing like, you know, software-driven stabilization and all that jazz that like those companies are.
Yeah. But anyway, hope that helps. Let's see.
Which I'll say, you know what? Gimbal God's still making me want a gimbal.
But dude, he stopped using the gimbal.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, maybe sometimes he does, but like a year ago, he claimed he stopped using the gimbal for GoPros.
I saw in some of his recent releases that you can see in his shadow, I feel like there's still a gimbal in the end of his bowl. And he had a video talking about using, I think it was him, he did a video talking about using a gimbal versus using Hypersmooth. And like, there was a time where like, you know, being able to use the full sensor and have all of the stabilization turned off, having the highest FPS, having like, you know, that there was a time and a place.
Yeah.
But also he's got like 4 GoPros strapped to one stick. Yeah. He's got one facing him. He's got 2 facing out. He's got, you know.
Yeah. for sure.
I think he might need to rechange to GoPro God.
Yeah, that would make more sense. But I also heard that he's editing a film right now, or just finished one, where he didn't use GoPro at all.
Ooh.
So I think he was talking about it on a Bombhole.
Interesting.
On a Bombhole
Cool.
episode, Bombhole group chat. And he was like, yeah, I don't want to be pegged as just like the GoPro guy.
Speaking of Bombhole, did you see Sean? Have you listened to Sean White's yet?
I haven't. No, it's definitely like on my list of things to do.
I haven't either, but there was such a good shots fired moment in it.
Oh,
he mentions people like calling him out for not being core and snowboard and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, and on the flip side, these same people who are calling me out for not being core are like in Tostino's pizza roll commercials. And then Danny Davis is apparently, I think, the rider that did that. And Danny posted to his story, shots fired. And like he posted that commercial. It was so good.
That's hilarious.
So good.
That's funny. Yeah. I mean, Danny Davis, if you think about him, like he's pretty well respected in the core community. Yeah. But he is like super Mountain Dew guy and all that. So
I feel like
funny.
he's he's got his he's got feet in both doors.
Yeah, I do want to check out the Sean White episode.
Traditionally,
really, I've not been a huge fan of Sean and like his attitude towards snowboarding, because I think the reason he gets so much hate is because it just seems like the only thing he really cared about was winning, and he kind of lost his love for snowboarding, and he cared about winning and brand deals and stuff like that. But I would love to hear his side of the story. And I think,
how would it be hard?
Self-reflection is going to be good for him no matter what.
Yeah.
Like
when you're born and raised at such an early age and competing, and then it's like, you're going to not necessarily peak at so much earlier, but at the same time, it's like you don't have the same community. Yeah. Like the competition community, I assume, is very different from just like a riding community.
Yeah, I think so. And, if you really want to be the best, like the absolute best, you're probably not going to make a ton of friends in the competition circuit.
Because you're unscrewing their bindings.
But that stance and those pants, man, are whack.
Leopard pants and a 26-inch stance.
Yeah. That's the stuff. It's just like, and the leather jackets and stuff. It's just like, but anyway, we digress. All boards, no brakes says my fiance is an intermediate rider and she can ride black runs as long as there's no moguls. Is she going to have a bad day if I force her to come to snowboard with me? I don't think so. You're hesitating, huh?
I have brought several people who are intermediate riders to snowboard, and they didn't have a great time. But only in the sense that if you go to snowboard and it's fresh and it's snowing, you're gonna have a great time.
That's true.
Now, if you go to snowboard and you're expecting to go off piste all day and fight down some rocky chutes to get to the goods, maybe not where you want to take someone who's not looking for that. Sure. And if they just want to expect to be running, if their idea of a black diamond is a black diamond that's 35-degree pitch groomer, because that's a black diamond, that's not snowboard.
That's
true. Rags is what?
Yeah,
38 degrees, 40 degrees.
Yeah, the thing about snowboard, and kind of, I won't say any mountain, but a lot of mountains, the ranking system for the trails is only relative to that mountain. So for example, the greens at Snowbird are going to be like, oh, these are the easiest runs at Snowbird, but they're not going to be equal to a green at, say, an ice coast, small little hill or somewhere in the Midwest or something like that. Snowbird has the steepest bunny slope in North America, they claim, and that's their green. So yeah, a black at another resort will easily be a double black, probably at the Bird. But like you said in your first point, I think if the conditions are good, then she could have a good time. Yeah, definitely. I think there's enough intermediate terrain that she would enjoy if the snow is soft and forgiving all around. But I have taken people to the Bird who are intermediate to advanced riders, I'd even say, but it just happened to be the day after a storm on a Sunday, after the whole mountain was just pummeled. And there were moguls almost everywhere. and they just were like, this sucked.
Yeah, I'll say that like the entire Peruvian Gulch today looked like moguls. Like every off piece, face facing the center was lumpy mess.
Now, like that one time that I took them there, that was the most moguled out I've ever seen it. But sometimes the bird doesn't groom regular trails right after a storm, so it can be pretty bumped out. I hope that helps, but basically, I would say it depends on the conditions.
Play it by ear.
It depends on the conditions. Yeah, for sure.
Marry her before you take her to snowboard.
Get that ring on the finger. Get the commitment sealed and done.
It's not the pinky down.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. It's not? Oh, shoot, I did it wrong. Oh, man. All right, where are we at here? Oh, is this on the wrong finger? Oh, shoot. All right. Sorry, guys. Curtis says, I was at a rope drop this past March after the 5-foot storm. Sweet.
That's like right when the big interlodge and stuff like that went down.
There was a huge cornice right at the drop, and everyone didn't see it in H. Wow. I guess you're talking about
lawn
Mineral
darts.
I guess you're talking about Mineral Basin. Let us know if you're not, but that's kind of hilarious. I hope you're okay. I hope everybody was okay. Red, welcome back, man. It's good to see you in the chat.
Nice.
He says, love the collab with Kevin.
Yeah,
both your vids were stellar.
Such good videos.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that was a ton of fun to do.
I also loved seeing how much shared footage there was, right?
Yeah, Kevin was super generous with sharing footage.
That follow cam that he got of you and that mineral drop, like, oh my gosh, I love the side profile. Great tracking. Yeah. I felt bad because Alex was like, dude, how did my follow come out? And I was like, it was really good, but so was Kevin's. And I ended up using Kevin's for the thumbnail. But Kevin was super cool about that. He was just like, yeah, dude, I'll make sure we trade footage. And then we went out to grab lunch, and he was like, "Oh, don't forget, we gotta swap footy." So that was very cool. He wasn't stingy at all about clips or anything. And the same thing with Yannick. Yannick was like, "Oh, don't worry about filming. I'll post up and film a side hit or whatever, and then give you the footage." And I've heard people say that before, and then you never get it, or it takes forever to try to get the footage and stuff. I saw Yannick was wearing also, I think, Kevin Backstrom's brand, right? Beyond Metals. His kit was a Beyond Metals kit.
I think you're right.
That was a cool.
I liked it. Yeah, the tan and black. It looks sick. I like those colors. Curtis says, I got around everyone, but it was so deep you couldn't turn straight line to the bottom. No viz.
Sounds like Mineral.
That sounds like Mineral. I've had a day like that. Yeah. I think my first powder day in Mineral was very similar. I got vertigo and I could not tell like what was up and what was down. I hit like a drop without even knowing it and like lost my footing. It's crazy back there on a storm day. Gary says, honestly, the little Cottonwood gondola will be another tourist trap.
The gondola.
I think it could be. Yeah. I mean, geez, I don't even know where to go with that, but
hopefully it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah. There's going to be 2-hour waits up and down during peak times. I think it's going to be a mess.
There's a 4-hour wait apparently downloading on buses.
When? Recently?
Yeah, isn't that what last week someone was saying it took them 4.5 hours to get back home?
Yeah. Yep.
On a 20, 30-minute drive to not even the valley.
But at least Brighton eased up on their parking restrictions.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Brighton has been doing such an amazing job with their community and communication, and like, we don't need it midweek. We don't, it's like,
I'm so glad that they listened to the feedback and they kind of realized, okay, maybe we went a little too all in on this reservation system when right down the road, Solitude was doing only weekends for reservations. So I went up there yesterday. I got there at 11:30 and the parking lot was like 75% full, and I was able to get a spot without reservations. So that was awesome. Hopefully after the holiday season, it'll still stay that way, but I think it's great. I think it's fantastic that they drop the reservations Monday through Thursday. Oh, um, Red says last year snow, stellar this year.
Does it even snow
Does
in
it
the
even
US?
snow in the US? Exactly. Oh, and Alex says, nah, dude, never met Ben. So yeah,
Must have been
maybe
Evan.
it was Evan you met on the plane.
Or a secret admirer. You
Or
haven't met
just
yet.
yeah, somebody who was
He's
pulling
gonna
your
jump out of the
chain.
bushes next
I
week.
don't know. Yeah. Is somebody taking me to AK, guys, and hasn't told me yet? Alex says, yeah, AK does sound appealing. Sure, it certainly does. Red says he seemed to be loving it on the Rover. Yeah, dude, the Rover was sick. It was a little bit catchy, like right out of the fresh tune, especially on rails. We didn't get a shot of it on video, but Austin tried to take a photo of me doing a front board on a mailbox, and I caught my heel edge pretty good.
Yeah, that mailbox was like, get out of here.
Yeah, it was like, So that's like the only thing I might change up if I'm riding park is detune those edges a little bit. But I loved it. And then, yeah, just being at Brighton yesterday on the DOA, I was sliding for life quite a bit on hard pack, and I wished I had a little bit more bite in the edges. But also, it's just got more of a side cut than the DOA does, the Rover does. So even if I think it's detuned, it's going to have better edge hold.
Sweet.
On
It's got more camber, so I mean,
and more camber, yeah, and stiffer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a sick board. I think you're gonna like it.
I can't wait. I can't wait to go full throttle on it.
But yeah,
next week. Oh,
that's right. Your day's coming up, isn't
my day is coming up. My number is ticked.
26th.
26th.
Day after Christmas. A little late Christmas present.
Yeah, we'll see if I actually make it.
He's got a doctor's appointment.
It's gonna be.
Doctor's gonna look at his shoulder and be like, somehow it's stronger than it was before. That's what I'm claiming.
That's what I'm hoping. He's like, you go ahead and fall on that all you want. I'm like, okie dokie.
All right. Back to the usual scheduled program of tuck and roll.
Tuck and roll.
Let's go. Luke says, wow, that means I need the dark side. Dude, everybody needs the dark side. Everybody needs a little dark side in their life. That's what I'm saying. Otter says, do you have a video of your top 5 favorite boards? I don't have a video of my top favorite boards, but it's going to be the top 4. Dark side, dark side, dark side, dark side.
So we need 4 different sizes of it.
And then number 5 is going to be the Rover, I'm claiming. No.
Dark side 154, dark side 158 split, dark side.
No, I should do a video like that, though. That's
that
a
would
good
be
idea.
Cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't. I've done a couple board review videos, but it's been a while. So maybe I'll do something like that. And at home literacy. Oh, at home literacy. That's a cool sounding.
Oh, what a
company name. Yeah,
I like that.
And a beautiful thumbnail. Dang, she's gorgeous. Oh, I hope my wife isn't seeing this. Love hearing Lunar's praise. Those boards are made by a true artisan.
Oh, thanks.
Yes, they are.
Thanks.
Definitely. And I'm not going to try to say your name, but it looks awesome. Hi from Russia.
Oh, wow.
From Tambov. So cool. Thanks for tuning in. That's awesome.
That's a lot of travel over the Ethernets.
That is a lot of travel. Yeah. Is that going through a tunnel over through the Atlantic, or is that just satellite, or I don't even know. How does that stuff work?
Transatlantic.
Very cool. Hope things are going well for you over there. Luke says, sweet, thanks, man. I wish I went with the 11, but the Max is still amazing. I am also trying my mirrorless Sony A7 IV this season. Sick. The A7 IV is a good camera.
Yeah.
That's a really good camera. Is that the one you got? Or you have the 3?
I have a 3.
Yeah, he's got A7 III, which is also a good camera.
I don't see myself replacing that probably ever. I mean, I think things have leveled out so much that there's also another YouTube channel. I don't know if you've ever seen them. It's called GX Ace, I think is what it's called. And this guy does he does camera reviews, but he does a lot of old legacy camera, but he shoots them all in like a cyberpunk theology. And his titles are basically oh, if technology stopped making cameras, what would be the cameras that people are trying to get? It's really cool. He's a
that's cool.
Really good filmer too.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I'll have to check it out. But yeah, the 11 is great, and the Max, if you like the Max, more power to you. A lot of people do. It's good at what it does, but personally, I just don't love the selfie angle all that much. Red says the white episode was pretty good. I too wasn't a big fan, but hearing his side was interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. I like perspective.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. One of Abraham Lincoln's favorite quotes of mine is he said something like, "I don't like that man. I must get to know him better."
Ooh.
And I don't know who he was talking about, but I just know it's one of his quotes.
And then he shot him. Dang it.
Jeez. Was it John Wilkes Booth? No. But anyway, yeah, it would be cool to hear his side of the story. I'll have to check it out. DP Card says, what resort isn't open? We talked about it a little bit earlier, but it's Cherry Peak. Cherry Peak has not opened yet, and they have not posted, at least on Instagram, what their opening date is yet. So I think they're just starving for snow up there by Logan, and haven't been able to, unfortunately, which is a bummer this late in the season. Typically in Utah, I feel like by mid-December everything's open. But yeah.
At Home Literacy's next comments got me stitching.
Uh-oh. Can we skip ahead? You married me before you took me to Liberty and Snowbird. It was also after we got married that I finally told you I wanted to ski instead of snowboard. This is true, maybe.
I'll make you a board with a set of skis printed on the top sheet.
A split board's close enough, right?
Yeah.
But the funny thing is she's never even tried skiing still.
She's like, Roar. She's like, why does that one have two? Two? I want to try that. I'm like, stop it.
2 things on your feet, 2 things on your hands.
They're facing down the mountain the right way.
I'm all for it, though. If you guys want to see my wife out on skis or a board, let us know. But yeah, it's true. I took her to one of the most challenging environments to learn to snowboard on the East Coast, Ice Coast. And did you go to snowboard? I guess, yeah. She rode like the magic carpet at the Bird. But I don't think we got past the magic carpet.
That magic carpet is still steep. It's a good magic carpet.
It is. It is. It definitely is. We skipped a couple, I think. Let me jump back. It's just one more comment. Love that answer to marry her before I make her go to snow. That's pretty funny. Alex says, have you ever heard of
a Sashi
180? Have you?
No. There's so many things a Sashi 180 could be.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a trick? Is it a board?
Is it a sushi roll?
Is it a sushi roll? Is it a drink?
Yeah.
It sounds like a great drink. I mean, a Sashi 180.
It does.
From the feudal era.
Gonna sash you up. Yeah, elaborate. I'm guessing it's a variation on a 180.
I'm thinking it's a board. I'm thinking it's a 180 centimeter board that absolutely doesn't even fit on the tram.
Like the sashimis or the sushi, the rasenol. I don't know, but why? Seems random. But yeah, enlighten us, please. Red says the Curiosity is on my list. That's also a great board.
I love that board.
That would probably be in the top 5 list for sure. I rode that board a bunch before we developed the dark side and kind of took things from there to.
Yeah, it was a great platform to like. That's how I've kind of seen the Curiosity, and then almost like the dark side being a predecessor or like another animal of it, right? It's like we figured out what you liked from the Curiosity, and then other things that you liked about riding, and then kind of pulled them apart and put them back together.
Yeah,
and I think even in the lineup, I think it sits in a really fun spot, being like, one's a more directionally dominant variation of the other. It's better at powder. It's a more aggressive board.
Yeah.
Yeah. With but it doesn't make it just a better board. They're just different. And
exactly.
And I think the identity between the two is really cool.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, that's a great board. A little more playful. Yeah, it's fantastic. He says he's hoping to nab one or
Love
at
it,
least
man.
get on the waiting list for next season. Sick.
If you're local, we get you set up with a demo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or just take a visit. Come visit us and then demo one if you're not local. Righteous Senpai says I'm going to Park City right after Christmas and the stoke is real.
Nice.
Love to hear that. I need to get back to Park City this year. It's going to be a little more challenging. Don't have a pass there, but I think we got a couple connections, so we're going to try to make it happen at least once, maybe twice. Park City was a lot of fun last year. So
Fun resort.
Stoked for you, yeah. Jenk2 Board says, do you guys do any wakeboarding in the summer?
And I haven't wakeboarded in probably like 15 years. I like wakeboarding. It's very fun.
I haven't wakeboarded in ever.
You've never wakeboarded?
No, I know, surprisingly. I don't know, I never had the opportunity to come up, as odd as that is, I guess. Never like known somebody with a boat and a wakeboard and all that. When I was back in like middle school, I went water skiing once, but never actually sideways, which I would prefer.
Lawn mowing route around the lake, and
Oh, wow.
And one of the houses that I mowed at, like their son or whatever was like a professional wakeboarder on the circuit to become professional.
Wow.
And so every once in a while, I get lucky, I'd be like mowing the lawn, like, you want to come in? Yeah.
Want to
Screw mowing lawns.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. And I've known people like growing up who had boats and stuff. Like I had an older cousin who had a boat, but it was like a fishing boat, and didn't wakeboard or anything. So
hey, it would pull you.
Never had the opportunity. It probably would.
A buddy of mine, his dad had a jet boat, and you'd be able to control the nozzle so you can make a rooster tail on it, and you'd go inner tubes or wakeboard behind it, and then if it was the youngsters riding around, then we throw the rooster tail up and you'd see if you could hold on behind while the jet boats. No, you never could. It's like an immediate 100 fire hoses spraying at you, ripping your skin off.
Jeez,
it's the worst.
Have you ever seen Zeb's videos in the summer wakeboarding?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Does he go to like those cool
the wakeboard parks?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course he goes.
I bet he's insane.
Of course.
He was just at
he was at the Bird, according to Alex.
Oh, he's at the Bird?
I know. You told me he was at
Woodward on Sunday.
But Alex said he was there like 2 days ago.
That's cool.
Ripping. But I don't think he got to see him, unfortunately. I would love to see him shred the Bird.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be so cool. Just like, he's so creative.
Yeah.
Moving on. It's 9:03. It's a trick, of course it is.
The Sashi, it's a butter trick. All right.
Okay. The Sashi 180. Huh.
Alex,
you're gonna have to demonstrate it for us, I think.
Teach me the ways.
Mm-hmm. It's 9:04. We've been rolling at this for about an hour, so we'll probably wind it down soon. But if you got any more questions, throw them in the comments, guys. Appreciate you. Also, Liberty is home resort. Represent. Sweet. Yeah, man. I mean,
very cool.
That's where I really...
Is that where you broke your back?
Developed... Yes. I was going to say developed my love for riding, but that's also where I broke my back.
So there's a different kind of love there,
Yeah. The very first place I ever snowboarded is Round Top. If you know Liberty, you probably know Round Top.
Do you have?
But I spent a lot more time at Liberty growing up. And when I say a lot more time, I was still only going like once a season, but went like once a season for probably 10, 15 years.
Do you have edits from Liberty?
Yeah, I do.
I'm gonna have to go.
Oh yeah, they're in there.
Okay.
I've thought about taking down some of the first early edits.
You can't.
But nah, that shows the progression.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all part of board progression. So, they're kind of cringy to me if you look at them now. But
sure. But that's
yeah. Yep. But yeah, I definitely have some edits there at the Bird, not at the Bird, at Liberty. So cool. Camera boy says
cringe. You should see some of my GoPro stuff that I shot in like 2012, 2013. Special blend jersey.
Nice.
At my knees.
Dude, I saw somebody at Brighton yesterday with a Foursquare jacket.
Oh my gosh.
And it was faded as all get out. You could tell like it used to be black, but it was gray.
Oh, it's amazing.
And it was like kind of tattered, and there was like a ripped like pocket on it and stuff. But I was like, that's awesome.
Way to go.
So sick.
Did you see that? Did you see who's back on forum?
Yeah, I mean, I saw it like 6 months ago.
Yeah,
when he left Santa Cruz.
Yeah,
but yeah, JP Walker.
Yeah, sure. And not to mention his little hidden, the forum jersey at Bombhole.
Yeah.
Right. Like, but it was so cool to see him.
No, that was Bjorn, wasn't it?
Was that Bjorn?
Yeah.
You're right. That was Bjorn.
Yeah,
okay.
Bjorn
so sorry, I know he's
jersey.
with Cardiff, but go forum.
Bring back the Form 8. Yeah.
Bring back the Form 8. Yeah.
I know, that'd be sick. Yeah, I mean, we all knew like JP would get back on form, but that's pretty dope.
So cool.
Yeah. So I hope they, I don't know, can build more of like a cornerstone in snowboarding. I feel like there's still sort of a little bit more on the outskirts right now, almost like a smaller company. You know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, they're having to come back.
Yeah,
I think,
they're having to come back.
They've been gone for 8. I mean, they were technically underwater for 9 years.
Yeah.
But they've got, what I think is cool is they've got they've got Peter.
Peter. They got Jeremy Jones. They got JP, and they got Mac Dog all involved in the company. Which is sick.
And I mean. Yeah. Like taking it back to its core roots. Like, I mean, these are the people I used to watch and like, oogle over in the magazines, the original Form 8. Like, it's just so cool.
Yeah. If you guys know what we're talking about, drop a comment. If you don't, we're just nerding out over old snowboard history from the late 90s, early 2000s.
Making a good comeback, coming back from the grave.
Forum was like the brand. It was the coolest brand.
And I mean, you got to give these guys so much credit for like, when they did backcountry parts and they're riding popsicle sticks, full camber in nipple deep powder,
early rise,
and just back legs must have been like horse
tree trunks,
horse legs,
for sure. Yep. Camera boy says, "What's everybody's day count at?" You want to go first?
I'm gonna say it's 0 because I haven't been on anything other than Brighton 1. I'm not at like 5. With taking Roar up on the Bunny Slope, and then a day at Brighton with you. But it's about to start increasing quickly.
But I mean, that's pretty good for a guy who's not supposed to have any days yet.
I have with 0 a broken collarbone. I have 0 days.
Yeah, I wish my count was a little bit higher, but I only ride like 2-3 times a week, so I'm at I think 14.
Oh, Sam just totally burned me. You're 14?
Yeah.
Wow. Good for you. Hasn't the season's only been open for like 26 days.
I guess. I feel like it's been open more, but and then there's preseason.
Good for you.
But yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I'm either 13 or 14, but I think I'm 14. I am keeping track. I have it written down somewhere. I just have to check. But I'm pretty sure it's 14. Yeah, where are you at? Let us know, camera boy. Jank to board says, I'm 40 and just started snowboarding again this last year for 25 years.
Sweet.
After a 25-year break? Elaborate. I mean, I guess that's what you're saying. That's sick, though.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. You're getting back into it, dude. I am 40.
He lives in Ogden. He's going to take you wakeboarding.
Heck yeah. Dude, let me know if you want to go wakeboarding. Yeah, he says, I'll take you out. Okay, let's do it this summer, man. I'd love to. I'm 41, by the way, and I am having more fun on a board now than ever before, dude. And a little secret, I hope I can say this. I found out Kevin from Snowboard Pro Camp is a year older than me, which blew my mind. So, yeah, the 40-year-olds, like,
40 is
where
the
it's
new
at,
20.
man.
40 is
It's the new, yeah. It's the new 10.
It's the new 10. Yeah. That's actually what they're going to retire. Like, no one can retire anymore, right? And they're like, 80's the new 50. Just plunking those keys.
But yeah, dude, that's sick. I'm glad you found your love for snowboarding. I'm glad you're back into it again, because I didn't ever really completely give up, but I know what that's like. I know what it's like to spend a long period of your life not really riding and then get back into it and have a passion like renewed for it. So that's sick. Red says, love the chats with you and awesome. Keep them coming. Sweet.
Oh, thanks, Red. They've been a lot of fun.
Yeah, they have. Thanks again for dropping in, man. And Righteous Senpai says, yeah, I live in York area, so it's sick. Okay. Like New York? Yeah, elaborate.
Yorkshire?
I don't know.
I'm waiting on pins and needles.
Yeah.
Could you get to Liberty from New York?
You can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Long drive. The East Coast to me.
Yeah, but if you lived in New York, you'd probably want to go a little bit further north, like to Vermont.
Okay.
PA is like kind of a little further southeast.
When people live in like different states and then commute across them on the East Coast, I'm always like, what? What do you mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a lot of like smaller states like pocketed together. But if you're living in New York, I guess you could hit some PA resorts.
Nah, York, PA. Right between.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
York, PA is kind of what I was thinking.
So it's the old York. Is that the OG York?
I think the OG York is somewhere in England, right?
Oh, that makes sense.
I don't know. But yeah, York, PA, cool. That's cool. Chris Struck says Nordic has 2 runs open. Well, there you go. Hey, that's open. I guess. Open. Yeah, but that is a bummer that there's only 2 runs. We need to check out Nordic, hopefully, when they get more terrain open.
Yeah.
And Sam, okay, is this the burn you're talking about?
Yeah.
Says, yeah, Austin used to come home and show me these
sick lines.
Shot back in the day. It was, well, I'll just say, I'm very glad he rides and chats with me.
This was back before there was any stabilization.
I know those days. My first GoPro was the 3. I think the Hero 3.
That was what I had too.
And yeah, man, that thing will give you a seizure if you're not careful.
I remember trying to show it to other people. Like, I'm getting kind of motion sick. I'm like, no, I know exactly what's about to happen. Just
yeah.
It's very.
And I remember when Hypersmooth first came out, people were like, "Oh, I don't know, POV doesn't look as gnarly anymore. Like, you kind of need that camera shake, like, to get the real effect of what it's like to ride those rowdy lines." And now it's just like, oh my gosh, can you imagine going back to that kind of footage?
No.
Nah, that's funny. Camera Boy says today was day 10. Sweet, that's awesome, man. 40+ gang in the house. Yeah.
Nice.
Dude, you're not invited. What are you talking about?
No, I said nice. I'm glad you have someone to talk
but
to.
That sounded a little condescending.
No, it was more nice about his 10 days, and then you came in with the 40.
Yeah,
making me feel bad.
He's got a while to go, guys, before he joins the club, but that's okay. He also keeps us young. Jank to Board says high school sports, started family early and was poor. Oh, okay. Now back to it and teaching my kids.
Cool.
That's awesome, man. Very cool. I hope your kids enjoy it. Just remember, like, a good tip Austin told me is if they're having a good time on the hill, call it.
Yeah.
I think it was you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was
you. They're having a good time on the hill.
If they're having a good time, don't wait until they start to get worn out and then cranky and then leave. Like, try to leave on a high note and bring lots of chocolate.
Sam read a book about, I think it was like I'm going to say someone from Europe, but I think she was like Swedish or something. And they were talking about like going on long hikes with kids, right? And you just like have a couple chocolate bars and like, you know, as you're walking up that trail, you're like, boom, piece of chocolate, boom, piece of chocolate. Like, here you go. Just, just have a good time. And usually when we go now, I have my little satchel and put a couple treats in there. Nice. And then just a piece of chocolate.
That's going to be me soon with Arthur, man.
You know what? I'll treat you to that on the chairlift, Dan. You'll be like, okay, my knees hurt. Boom, piece of chocolate.
Piece of chocolate. I can use it.
CBD chocolate.
There we go. Yeah. I'll rub the chocolate on my knee and then be like, oh, wait, no, I was supposed to use the CBD. Right. But
by the way, Dan's never complained about his knees. So this will be a new thing.
No, never. Not once being in the 40+ club.
Not on the chairlift, at least.
No, definitely not. You don't get tired knees from the board hanging off of one leg, crooked, no footrest at all.
I realized times are changing when I started bringing the Theragun.
Oh,
like, you know, you take that
like up
car.
to the mountain.
No, yeah. It's in the car, right? You get back to the lift. You're
I'm not on that level. That's funny, but yeah, I need to be. Okay, again, we'll try to wrap this up. Yeah. Right, just says York, PA. Yeah, that's really close to Round Top of Liberty. First capital of the U.S. though.
Oh, that's
was
cool.
York, PA. Man, I'm rusty on my U.S. history, but that sounds like it would be correct. Very cool. Mitch E, does Utah usually get heavy holiday crowds in your guys' experience?
Yes.
Yeah. No hesitation there.
I was more bummed that
No
I couldn't
hesitation
ride
there.
until the end of December because the beginning, like late November through December 20th, is empty.
Yeah.
You know, like way more empty.
Relatively, yeah.
And then after the you know, after Christmas through January, it's
yeah, like my latest video at Mineral. I mean, that would only happen, you know, a week or two before the holidays, at the latest. So it will get quite busy. Icon's blacked out though. At least the base icon is blacked out during the holiday period. So you would think that would help a little bit, but yeah, generally speaking, between Christmas Day and New Year's Day, super busy, and then
Christmas Day is empty. Right?
That's true.
Christmas Day is the day to go.
I've heard, because I've never actually gone on Christmas Day. But yeah, if you can go and you want to go, or your family wants to go, Christmas Day is good.
We have some friends that always ride on Christmas Day, and they have a daughter, and this is their first. I think this is their first, maybe second year with her, and they were like, "Oh yeah, mother-in-law's coming over Christmas morning to watch Kiddo, and we're going to the Bird." It was like, "You guys are awesome."
That's sick.
Bye. Have a good Christmas.
Nice. Did I tell you what I'm doing tomorrow?
You're going with your brother, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
My brother just flew into town today from LA, and I'm taking him to Brighton, and he is jumping on skis for the first time in what has to be 20 years.
Is he bored?
Yes, in theory.
Okay.
But again, that was about 20 years ago.
Skis.
And in fact, yeah, I'd say like the most recent thing he did, I'm pretty sure, was snowboarding. He snowboarded at Wisp. Righteous Senpai, you probably know Wisp.
That's, another east.
Yeah, it's like as far east in Maryland as you can get. Actually, it's actually a Maryland resort.
Oh, okay.
But it's further in distance and time than it was going up to southern Pennsylvania. So only went there a handful of times. It was like 3 hours away from where we live. Excuse me, maybe like 2.5. But anyway, he snowboarded there, but it was like 20 years ago, and he was like, I think I'd be probably more comfortable on skis after such a long time not on snow, because he picked up snowboarding. He did pretty well with it, but skiing, like day one, he was ripping like hockey stops and stuff.
Wow.
With no problem. So hopefully he can still do it.
My first
I got faith in him, but
my first day on skis was just like, how do you jump on these things? Like, you got no pop, you got no like leverage.
Can't ollie.
You're right. It's
but
weird.
You did that after boarding?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you're in the minority, I feel like.
Some of Sam and I's favorite dates have been because basically I ski, she comes to ski, and then we're both on this hilarious level of skiing, which is fully out of control and unable to stop.
I hope you don't mind, Sam. It wasn't a knock, right?
Not at all. I got some favorite memories of skis.
He says, just kidding. It's all about that progression.
Yeah.
With the filming and the skiing, right?
You definitely.
Yeah. Caden Armez, at least no snow gives me time to practice switch on powder days.
Heck yeah.
All I want to do is have fun. That's a great point, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah. On like these groomer days, practicing switch is really ideal. I did a lot of that at Brighton yesterday, actually.
And in Jeremy Jones's book Shropolist, he talks about he talks about going to the mountain, like technical training, and being like, don't be a fair weather mountaineer. Just be like always out there and go on the worst days. Yeah. And go to a face that the only thing you can do is hop jumps down that face, and like you'll get better for it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's one of the perks of riding on the East Coast too. Like the conditions are very rarely good, so you're just like, all right, well, I'm going up to the mountain no matter what's going on.
I mean, when I went over to the bird today,
Yeah.
and there was the amount of cars that there were,
Mhm.
I had thought to myself, like, who in there? Who came here today? They either already
You
had it
did.
scheduled. I did, but for a different reason. It
Yeah.
was like, I'd say, okay, like a quarter of the way full. I understand that. Those are just a person like, I'm gonna go for some laps. But the amount of cars that were in the lots today,
It's pretty full, huh?
well, yeah, because they don't have like the fire station parking lot open, and like
Mm.
at least, and I'm just like going to park like right behind Chickadee, so we can get on it easiest.
Okay.
And like it's fairly full up there. Anyway,
Mm.
the amount of cars that are up there, I'm just like, hey, I'm glad that people are getting up there, getting after it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have taken a day like I would have taken a day off at the office to go ride. Never mind. Who wouldn't?
Well, also if you have the accessibility, right? Like if you have a full pass.
Yeah, if you got a full pass, you got 30
now, if you're
minutes
limited
up
on the days you can go, or you're spending a day ticket, then it's like you want to get
You're right.
conditions.
Yeah, I always forget that proximity is really nothing for people who live in the valley to get up. So
yeah. Yep. All right, guys. Finish those last two comments and then wrap it up. 45 plus club here, Red. Sweet. Nice. Love that, dude. Didn't get on a board until I was in my 40s. That's awesome, man. People ask me all the time too, like, is it too late to get into snowboarding? And it's good to hear that like you're getting after it for the first time in your 40s. That's so cool.
I met a woman probably 8 years ago at Stevens Pass, and she was on a board. I was like, how long have you been board? And she's like, this is my first year. Nice. She was 82.
No
she had
way.
skied her whole life.
Oh,
and she was
God.
like, I'm so sad I waited so long, but like riding sideways is amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I hope she's got bubble wrap under her base layer. But that's awesome. No, I kid, but I do tell people like of any age, if there's people who ask me in their 40s, 50s, whatever, like, is it too late to learn snowboarding? I say it's not too late. Just be willing to fall. Like if you're okay with falling and you're comfortable with being able to fall, then you're not too late. But that's awesome. I can't imagine trying it at 80 for the first time. That's sick. Do you make a living on YouTube or do you have another job? Austin, do you make a living on YouTube?
I don't make a living on YouTube.
No, I do. Yeah, this is my job for the winter months, basically from like October through May, sometimes June. I can stretch it a little bit, but this is my main job. And it's been a challenge, honestly, income, guys. So anything y'all can do to help, whether it's Patreon, super chats, super comments and stuff, that all goes a long way. But that's what I've been doing for the last 5 years, basically. And then in the winter, in the summertime, I'll do other things to try to save up money throughout the year. And occasionally I'll pick up like a FedEx shift. I'm still technically employed by them.
Yeah.
I use them for shipping today, actually, which is awesome because I shipped a sticker order out to the UK. And dude, it arrives. I shipped it out yesterday and it arrives tomorrow.
Wow.
It was $20 for 4 stickers to ship. And that saved me like $50.
That's amazing.
Which is kind of crazy.
That's amazing.
But
and I was going to say that, also going back to like, YouTube being your gig and making a living off of it, and like, the struggle being real for having to compensate in off season and figure those things out. And because that's your thing, it's not like you have like this one steady, it's like YouTube is your steady. And then it's like, you got to fill in the gaps, but there's no way you'd have 14 days in a 9 to 5, 26 days into the season.
Yeah.
Like, so like, in that way of like, what's the thing that's the most value to you, and like time being your value. It's like, you are, you're knuckling down on that. So,
yep. And this year, AdSense hasn't been as good as it has been the last few years. Like the ad revenue I'm getting from YouTube hasn't been that good. But fortunately, I've started to get some brand deals coming in that are just keeping me afloat. So
awesome.
That's sick. Yeah. But thanks for asking. Is New Year's Day pretty quiet? I imagine. I haven't been on a New Year's Day, but I imagine it's probably not a ton of early risers. I imagine if you're there, especially for like the first half of the day, it's pretty quiet, I would say. If Alex is still here, he could probably chime in. on what the bird's like. But yeah, I would say New Year's Day, if people are getting after it, it's mostly like after 12 o'clock. Wisp is solid. Yeah, it's not bad. They had like one run they called the mile long run that was actually like a mile long in distance.
That's cool.
It was kind of cool. Mitch E says met an 80-plus-year-old boarder up at Lookout Pass in Montana. Guy is a snow sensei and is awesome. That sounds awesome. Right on. Red says season 1 equals on your backside. Yeah,
that's great.
Definitely. And hey, Levi, what's up? Levi joined us. Sick. He's been in the last few chats.
Yeah.
We're just wrapping up, Levi, but I'm glad you could drop in to say hi.
Speaking of runs that are named like mile long run, I can't wait to the first time that you go to Whistler Blackcomb and go to like Summit and then try and go all the way back to Village, because it is, perspective wise, like distance, it is hilarious. You're just riding and you're like, it's got to be around the corner, and you go around the next corner, you're like, I can't even see it, and you're just riding. You're like, all I have to do is get back to the hotel, and you're like, I'm tired, and it's still nothing, and then you get lost and you end up at the wrong village and you got to ride a gondola back up. Nice. But no, I remember like,
how much time are we talking for that run? Like
30 minutes.
Wow, that's cool.
At like a cruising pace, also not knowing where you're going. You're like, okay, which one's going to get me down? I'm sure people can bomb it in like, let's say 15, but I mean, I've Whistler Blackcomb is probably the only mountain I've ever been to that like has a top to bottom that like halfway through and you're like, okay, I could be at the bottom now.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I need to get up to Canada and shred up there. That sounds sick. It surprised me though. I was talking to Kevin, and Kevin said he's not used to the elevation here, and he said Whistler's peak elevation is like 8,000 feet. Yeah, and I was like, that's the parking lot at the Bird.
Yeah. Because what we talked about last week, that the village is like maybe 1,400.
Yeah. Wow.
Maybe it's even less than 1,000, because I mean, you're just ocean to or like sound to salt water, but it's not the ocean.
Wow. All right, guys, we're wrapping it up. I think I know I said that like 3 times, but we are.
Luke's in Canada. He can probably comment on
come to Canada
on the length of like coming from what's it called, like Seventh Heaven on Blackcomb side all the way down to Blackcomb Village.
It looks sick. Yeah, I mean, it's right up there with like bucket list of Japan and Baldface. I'd say those are.
And when you're talking about like AK and Baldface, I mean, Baldface I think is a place that you could go, and no matter what, you're going to have an amazing time. AK, just like Japan, is a destination for me where it's like, what I know of those two spots is like video parts. And it's like, going to an AK resort is not going to be, dropping ridge lines into these
crazy spines.
And, what you're seeing like T-Rice and someone do.
Yeah, that's true.
And so it's like, you got to find a local outfit to go tour with.
Yeah, I think if we end up going to AK, it's got to be heli boarding, right?
Yeah, but you should listen to Robin Van Gin's Bomb Hole. She talks about the difficulty of like, especially in prime season, like March, going to AK and like chartering helicopters. That like there's a like seniority thing and like, but like crews that are going up there and filming, and they've already established like, the pilots and like who knows where they're going. It's a wild world apparently of like.
That's true. It's probably way more. It's probably way more competitive with people going up who are actually filming like professional.
I think she mentioned that it was like took 3 season trips to AK to like actually finally like get a pilot worth there. Like worth it to get out with, and like that they would sit day on and like you'd go to the tarmac and like be waiting on like essentially like a wait list.
Wow.
To catch rides.
Crazy. Well, yeah, it's gonna be a tough one to pull off, but AK's
heck yeah
on the list.
You can always walk with your feet. There's a couple of guys I follow that split board in AK, and like they're a sense, I should say they're touring to the base and then they're verting up, right? And one of them I remember watching, was putting his bindings on. A big gust of wind took one of the bindings down off the face, and he was like, "This is gonna be a crappy day."
Oh,
And his skier buddy is just laughing, and he's ripping his skins off.
That sounds awful. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. This has been a lot of fun. I hope you guys have a great Christmas and New Year's and all the happy holidays. And yeah, stay tuned. This guy will be back on a board soon. Yeah, Luke says come to Canada. Levi also says, have you ever been to Big Sky? I have not.
Big Sky in Montana? Or is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Montana. Yeah. I've heard great things about Big Sky, though. That's on the list. And it's within driving distance. So is Jackson. Although Kevin was like, Jackson's a little overrated.
Really?
Yeah, he said it's like crowded. And I don't know. I still want to go there, but he said it's really crowded. And as far as terrain goes, you just kind of look at it. And it's sort of like, it sounded like Brian Head's sort of like,
okay. Interesting.
More gnarly terrain, but it's just like one main ridge and everything's just kind of like a fall line.
Okay.
Down.
Interesting.
And he said the backcountry is a whole different story, obviously.
Sure.
But for a resort. Right. But anyway, yeah, I want to get up to Big Sky. But thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll close this one out. And yeah, I hope you guys have a awesome Christmas, awesome New Year. I'll be posting a resort review video this Friday if all goes as planned. Yes. And
can you let us know what the resort review will be? No, it's under wraps. Don't even answer it.
Yeah, that'll be a surprise. That'll be a surprise. You get 3 free days to Big Sky with Brighton Pass.
Hey, sure? Huh. All right, Dan, gas up the wagon.
All right, yeah. That sounds kind of familiar, but I wonder if that has to be the Platinum Pass or if that includes the Industry Pass. I've got the Industry Pass at Brighton. But that sounds familiar. I think I remember reading about that. So thanks, Levi. That's sick. All right, guys. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Keep progressing, y'all.